I will follow the same protocol as before, but these are the resources. Just so you know, please note what you have. So first you have the book, okay? First you have the book. Number two, in the chat right now, I am going to include a link. This link is a blog that is connected to the book. And I'm going to show you what is there. The easiest way for you to understand the blog is if you go here all the way, Spanish by concept for MYP 1 to 3 emergent, and you click there, and then you will see different resources. This is if you want to see everything for your book, or if you want to see it a connection to the concepts, you do it through here. Okay, so that's one thing that you have besides the book. And that blog, remember the DVDs, when the DVDs had extra bonus features, like all the things that didn't go into the movie, like all the things that didn't go into the book, I put them in the blog. Every time that a teacher tells me, I do not know how to teach this lesson, can you help me? I do it, I create the lesson, and I put it in the blog. Okay, so please please know that. Another thing that I would like you to keep in mind is the YouTube channel. So in the book, you have a lot of links to a variety of videos which are used for either for summative assessments, etc., etc. There are more. The second link is all of the videos that I have made for different reasons. So and if you are teaching remotely, some of these videos will be, for example, to help you flip the classroom in the classroom with the present tense, or flip the classroom inside the classroom for working with prepositions, or somebody didn't understand how to write sentences. Here is a video for writing sentences, so you don't have to stop the class. Or if you want to assign homework, etc., etc. I lost count of the videos that I have created, and I continue to do that every time that I have students. So you already have the book, the blog, and the YouTube channel. In the blog, there is a tab that says podcast. So those podcasts, you will see, those podcasts are especially for grades 9 and 10. But if you like them, if you want to use them for grades 6 and 7, you can go ahead and do it. In grades 9 and 10, in the reflection box, you will see this. This is the link to the podcast, okay? In some chapters, but like I said, they are there, so you can use them. Feel free to use them. I will show you some examples of the digital resources so that you have an idea of what you will see for this book. And the pattern is the same. And what I want you to see, or what I would like you to appreciate, is they are grammar exercises as we know them, okay? Some of them are filling in the gaps, some of them are writing sentences, some of them have questions about grammar, but these exercises are linked to the activities in the book. So they are not random grammar exercises to practice the present, no. If it's an exercise about the present, it takes the context of the book. If it's an exercise about practicing the past, about travel, it takes the context of the book. And I invite you to spend some time, maybe a few minutes reading them, because sometimes you will have pre-reading activities or pre-listening activities, okay? And what I have done is I tell you which activity is supported by that exercise.
Rafael, I'm sorry again. Where can we access the workbook? Oh, okay.
You will receive a code. I think that that's how they manage, right, Carmen? Each teacher will receive a code. Okay, let
If
me
I
just.
can add something, this afternoon, the CCWs have created different activities for you to use with the books for chapter 1, and you are going to be presented with those. So you are going to see this afternoon what it is that you have available at the moment. And I will let you know as soon as we have access to the online resources.
And then you have extension to the conversations so that you have alternative ways of asking students to look at things. But I would like you to look at the questions that they have. So some of these activities that you will have in the book or in the workbook, I should say, they push students not only to practice the language, but also to understanding how something is said and what something means. So yes, please take a, it will take a few moments, a few days maybe to do that, but you can do what some teachers do, then just, if you want to print all the workbook and then just put them next to the pages that they go, print them in small pages and that will be your connection. Something else that you will have is a unit planner. I don't know if it's part of your institution to do planning, but if you want to see how each of the chapters of the book translates into a unit planner in the MYP model, here you have it. So everything has been done for you.
And this is the most important document that you should look at before starting your units. It tells you what to do before, what to do during, what to do after, the approaches to teaching, the approaches to learning, and what are the specific goals for each one of those resources. So please
Yep.
read this. You have to know what it is that you're doing. Rafael have placed everything from the IB guides that correspond to each one of the units here. So this should be your Bible.
So here you will have the process in the section proceso de aprendizaje. You will have everything that you need to do and what you need to do with the text. So, and everything is organized by strand so that you know what you are doing. So each book has 12 chapters, so you will have 12 unit planners. That's not all. For some of us, it's very, who, raise your hand if you like tracking students' performance. Like, for example, who is able to pronounce, who is able to write sentence correctly, who is able to do this. Okay, if you are a tracker like me, you will also have, this document doesn't even exist in the IB. So what I did for each level, for each strand, for each criterion, I did research on what it means to be successful in strand 1 for criterion A, listening. So these will be your benchmarks. So when you write reports, if you write reports, you can use this language. I could say, for example, Carmen reconoce fonemas, Carmen reconoce palabras, Carmen distingue palabras de acuerdo con su pronunciación, Carmen no distingue palabras específicas en una interacción, Rafael identifica datos, etcétera, etcétera. So these are indicators for you to start realizing how students are different. This is your ATL scope and sequence. This is your ATL chart. And it's gonna be there. For strand 2, the same. And like I said, this is not in the guide. So this will help you understand, for example, if you ask yourself, what do I teach in strand 2 of listening? So this gives you an idea of the things that you have to explicitly teach, so that when you find an activity that is a listening activity, you do this. The last thing that you will have is in the unit planner, you already have guidance about the steps that you have to take to teach a particular chapter. If you want more details and if you want to know about connections and how to structure your inquiries more emphatically, each chapter has a teacher's guide. So you have the page, the activity, and then some suggestions on what you can do before, some suggestions on what you can do during the activity, a way to link it to other activities, the answers to the book, and other things that you may want to use to connect. So this is everything that you have. So
Rafael, tengo una pregunta para ti.
Sí, Kelly.
Ok, una de las cosas que creo que nuestros profesores siempre preguntan es ¿por qué no hay un Teacher's Edition con las respuestas ya a todas estas actividades? Entonces, ¿cómo contestas tú esa pregunta?
Muy fácil, Kelly. Pregúntenle a Hodder. It's a publisher's, Kelly. It was a publisher choice to do it like that, Kelly. I have no say in that. For this second edition, I'm lucky that they heard me about like the ATL chart. It's not mandatory, but I wanted to produce it. So I went ahead and did it. So they heard it. But yeah, that's the answer, Kelly.
Y lo segundo es como siempre tenemos lo de la rúbrica, ¿verdad? Tenemos la rúbrica y tenemos cada uno de los strands, pero ¿cómo tú le das una calificación al estudiante? Creo que una de las cosas que nosotros hacemos es el conversion. ¿Cómo haces tú ese conversion para darles una nota actual al estudiante?
Okay, perfecto. So I'm using this book and let me show you an example. Yeah, I'm going to be giving you an example from Unit 4. It's page 87, okay? It's this activity where students have to write sentences. If you read below, you see that this is a strand D. Okay, strand D2, only D2. So I am only going to assess sentence accuracy. Our assessment criteria go from 1 to 8. 1 means that student can barely write the sentence. 2, the student cannot still write the sentence. 3, student can write the sentence, but there are mistakes that make the sentence inaccurate. 4, the sentence is not completely accurate. 6, the sentence is accurate, maybe one or two mistakes. 7, the sentence is completely accurate. What is an 8 then? When the student extends what is here. So I use the same, we have to continue using the same benchmarks of assessment that the IB gives us, Kelly, but we focus on the strand. And in this case, it's only a sentence. Let me give you another example. Yeah, this the activity right next to it. This is an interaction, and this is for C4, okay? So this is about communicating information. So let's say that you did it with Beatriz, but I'm only going to evaluate you. 1, Kelly doesn't communicate information effectively. 1, Kelly can only communicate basic facts. 2, Kelly starts to communicate simple sentences. 3, Kelly can communicate simple ideas. 4, Kelly can communicate simple ideas and some complex ideas. So the criteria itself tells you the measurements. And the only thing that you have to do is attach it to the strand. This is why assessing small activities helps instead of assessing one complete reading and assessing all the strands at once, because then it's really difficult to give students feedback on everything. But when each activity targets 1 or 2 strands, it's easier to give them more focused feedback. Because, for example, for strand 1, let me find a strand 1. This is an activity for strand 1. So this is about retrieving vocabulary. So I would say something. Rafael is not able to retrieve key vocabulary. Rafael is able to retrieve very few vocabulary items. And again, I use the measurements all the time. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
No,
It's
my
a question
pleasure.
that it always comes up. So thank you for clarifying.
Thank you very much, everyone. This was a lot of information for you. So I salute you. I salute you. Thank you for your persistence. I look forward to seeing you in the future or to hearing from you in case we can continue to interact.